Hello, welcome to Country Sports TV. My name's Ian Summerall and I'm a practicing gunsmith. I have my own RFD and I work for the trade and for the public. Now, over the last couple of days I had a couple of phone calls and a friend of mine in the trade said, have I heard about the new firearms laws that we got to follow as RFDs? I said, no, nobody's told me. And then this morning I opened my trade magazine up and I find that on the front page it says new EU Directive rules brought in. What's all this about? So this morning I did some research, did some finding out, downloaded the new rules off the government website, and what it does is a couple of things. It says that if you're a person who holds a certificate and you're under 18, you can no longer have the firearm. This is the way I read it. It says that if someone holds a certificate, the guardian or parent has to secure the firearm. I take that to mean that the under 18 cannot have the shotgun or firearm without the over 18 parent or guardian being with them. I think this needs to be verified. I think this needs to be sorted out. Now, we've got the Firearms Act, which we've been using for years, since 1968, and that allowed somebody under 18, but in the thing of a shotgun, over 15, to go out and shoot pigeons, do pest control on the farm. Now, does this mean now that somebody under 18 can't go out and do pest control on his own? Does it mean that if I'm with somebody under 18, I sometimes take kids out that have shot with their fathers for years and want to do a bit of pigeon shooting, and I said, well, I'll come out with you and show you how I decoy pigeons, and then you can learn for yourself. Now, sometimes you've got 5 or 6 fields to cover, and that you go in one field and the pigeons go in another. So it's sometimes easier for you to have 2 hides if there's 2 of you. Now, for the first time I go out, I always go in the hide with the youngster. Make sure they know what the etiquette is, make sure they're safe. When I know I can trust them, I then set them up on a hide on their own, so they're not too far away, so I can still watch them. Now, is that now not allowed under this new EU directive? I don't know. I don't know the answer. They've put this directive through that firearms have to be secure from under 18, who, even though they hold a certificate for it, does this mean that when we're out they have to be in the accompaniment of a over 18, the guardian or parent? This needs to be verified. It goes against the Firearms Act, because when I was a kid, I was, 14, 15, used to go down the farm, pigeons used to be screaming in on the grain. I used to borrow the farmer's shotgun and a box of cartridges. Normally it was about half a box of cartridges, but, you know, because I wasn't going to shoot that many. I wasn't very good back in those days, but I thought I was a kingpin going pigeon shooting on my own. Set up a hide. I only had 4 decoys, that's all I had. Put 4 decoys out, and then shoot for a day. I didn't have a shotgun certificate to start with because I was doing pest control. And there was a rule that a farmer could nominate 2 people without a certificate to do pest control. As soon as I started work at 15, I was just under 16. And by the time I was 16, I had a firearms certificate and a shotgun certificate. But I was 16 and I was still going out pigeon shooting on my own with the certificate. Does this new EU rule mean that I couldn't do that, or I couldn't let somebody now under 18 go on their own shooting? This needs to be clarified. The other rule that's brought in is for firearms dealers like myself. We at the moment register a firearm by the manufacturer's name, the caliber, and the number of the gun, and what type it is. If it's a shotgun, rifle, pistol. If it's a rifle, if it's a semi-automatic or bolt action. Now, what they want now is country of origin. Well, why? You know what country of origin it is by the maker's name. If you've got a Bakel, it's not going to be an American gun. If you've got a Bakel, it's going to be Russian. Full stop. If you've got a Beretta, it's going to be Italian. Perazzi, Italian. Franchi, Italian. AYA, Spanish. So you don't need to know the country of origin. It's normally on the name. If you've got a Ruger, then it's American. I think, and then you've got a problem of what happens if you've got a Browning. Now you've got Belgian Brownings and Japanese Maruku Brownings. Now which name do you put down if it's got Browning on it? Do you put Browning Belgium or Browning Japan if it's a Browning Maruku? I don't know the answer. This has got to be sorted out. I need some clarification. I've already written to my MP asking, you know, you put these rules in, well, what does it all mean? And then, adding to this, we also have to put identifying marks on every component part. They want the manufacturer's name, country of origin, and marks, you know, like there's a serial number. And they also want a batch number on every component part. Well, this is impractical, and I'll explain why. If, for instance, I've got a shotgun, and the shotgun more than likely has the serial number on the barrel and on the action. And in some cases, it only has the serial number on the trigger guard, not on the component parts, which will be the barrel or the action. So if I take, say for instance, a Gibbs shotgun, now the number is written on the guard. It'll be a B or a C number. It was normally a B and then a 4-figure number, and it's on the guard. That's the number of the gun. But the number of the gun may not be the number that's on the barrels or on the action. The barrels might be numbered, but that would be a manufacturing number, not the gun number. Now, which number do I use? I was always told to use the serial number that's on the guard. Now, what happens if the barrels are numbered or the action is numbered and the other one isn't? Do I have to make sure that I get the action or the barrels engraved with that number on? That is now going to cost the customer. Not only do they have to pay for the gun, they also have to pay for the extra engraving. And engraving at £15 a number, what happens if I got a serial number that's 5 numbers? That's £75. Plus postage there, which is going to cost me 20 quid, and postage back. which is still going to cost me 20 quid. Just for writing the number on it, because it isn't on there already. Now, does this have to be done or not? I don't know. I think it's impractical. I think that it hasn't been thought through. Now, let's just see when this EU Firearms Directive was brought in. And what they do in this country is, because we're still in the EU, we have to follow EU directives. I think the government has held this off as long as possible until, hopefully, we were coming out of the EU, because we were supposed to come out in March, and then it wasn't March, it was supposed to be October, and then we didn't, which created the election. Now, what date did this statutory instrument from the Home Office come in? You're not going to believe this. It came into force on the 12th of December. What happened on the 12th of December? We had a national election. Yes. Good day to bury bad news, I say. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's it's something of nothing. It's not going to affect criminals one little bit. All it is more bureaucracy thrown on the law-abiding people of this country. The quicker we can get out of the EU, the better. Anyway, Ian, Unhappy Gunsmith, signing off for Country Sports TV. I'm going to add a little PS to this little video so that you understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to copy this directive as a PDF, which I've downloaded from the government website. I will put it on the Country Sports TV Facebook page. So if any of you want to read the new EU directive on firearms, you can. Read it, try and understand it, and when I've got more information, I'll come back to you.